At the crowded JFK Airport, Emily, a struggling single mom juggling 2 bags and her little daughter, felt the weight of her life pressing harder than ever. Bills were piling up, her job barely covered expenses, and every day felt like a new battle. She was returning from visiting her sick mother, her heart heavy with both worry and exhaustion. As she guided her daughter through the bustling terminal, her eyes caught a familiar face, a man in a tailored suit. Surrounded by assistants, his presence commanding respect. Her heart skipped a beat. It was Daniel, her first love from high school. They hadn't spoken in over a decade, life having taken them on very different paths. Emily froze, clutching her daughter's hand tighter. Memories rushed back, late-night talks, dreams of the future, and the heartbreak of losing him when college pulled them apart. She quickly looked away, embarrassed by her worn-out clothes and the dark circles under her eyes. Surely he wouldn't even recognize her, but then Daniel's gaze locked onto hers. The confident CEO's expression softened instantly. With disbelief in his eyes, he excused himself from his entourage and started walking toward her. Emily's pulse quickened. She wasn't ready for this, Emily. His voice was warm, almost boyish despite the years. "Is it really you?" She forced a small smile. "Hi, Daniel. It's been a long time." Her daughter peeked curiously from behind her. Daniel knelt slightly, smiling kindly. "And who's this little angel?" "This is Lily," Emily replied softly, her voice carrying both pride and weariness. Daniel's eyes lingered on the little girl, then back to Emily. Something changed in his expression, compassion, surprise, maybe even regret for the years lost. He stood straight, brushing off the world around them. For a man used to boardrooms and billion-dollar decisions, he suddenly looked like the same boy who once held her hand at the school dance. "I can't believe this," he said quietly. "Of all places here, after all these years." Emily shifted uncomfortably, adjusting her bag. "Life has a strange way of surprising us," she said. She didn't want pity, but she also couldn't hide the exhaustion in her voice, Daniel noticed. He always had. Back then, he was the only one who truly understood her dreams. And now, even after all the years, he could still read her without words. "You look like you've been carrying too much on your own," he said gently. "Tell me you'll let me buy you a coffee before I board my flight." Emily hesitated. Part of her wanted to run, to keep her struggles hidden. But another part of her, the part that remembered how it felt to be loved by him, wanted to stay. And so, in the middle of a noisy airport, with departures flashing overhead, the past and present collided. Neither of them knew it yet, but this chance encounter was only the beginning of something far greater than either had ever imagined. "Emily," Daniel said again, as if saying her name grounded him back to a world he thought he had left behind. He glanced at the crowd rushing past them, then at her weary eyes. "Come on, let's sit for a moment." "I have time before my flight." Emily hesitated. A part of her wanted to disappear into the crowd, to avoid the sting of comparison between his success and her daily struggle. But Lily tugged her sleeve, whispering, "Mommy, can we sit down?" So she nodded. They found a quiet corner cafe in the terminal. Daniel ordered coffee for Emily and hot chocolate for Lily without asking twice, as though he still remembered her love for coffee on the colder days back in high school. "So," he began gently, "tell me, what's life been like?" Emily's fingers wrapped around the warm cup, buying time. "Busy, hard, but Lily's my everything. She keeps me going." Daniel listened intently, his eyes never leaving hers. "You always were the strongest person I knew," he said softly. The compliment caught her off guard. Most days she felt anything but strong. But hearing it from him, Daniel, who now wore the world's confidence on his shoulders, made her chest tighten. "And you?" she asked finally. "You look different, important." He chuckled lightly. "I built a tech company after college. It grew faster than I imagined. But Emily, all of this," he gestured vaguely at his expensive watch and polished shoes, "means little when there's no one real to share it with." Her breath caught. For a moment, she saw not the millionaire CEO, but the boy who once whispered promises under the stars. Lily interrupted with an innocent giggle, chocolate on her lips. Daniel leaned down, helping her with a napkin, his gestures careful and genuine. "She's incredible," he said warmly. "Just like her mom." Emily's throat tightened. She wasn't used to kindness. Life had hardened her, made her believe she had to do everything alone. And yet here was Daniel, looking at her like nothing had changed, like she was still worth the world. "I don't want to intrude," he said, his voice lower now. "But if you'd let me, I'd like to be part of your lives, even if it's just as a friend." Tears pricked her eyes, unexpected and uninvited. She quickly blinked them away. "Daniel, you don't have to." "I want to," he interrupted gently. "Emily, fate doesn't hand us chances like this often. Maybe we lost years, but maybe we've been given another beginning." For the first time in years, Emily's heart felt light. She didn't know where this road would lead. But as Lily laughed beside them and Daniel smiled across the table, she realized something. Sometimes life doesn't close doors forever. It simply waits for the right moment to open them again. And in that busy airport cafe, amidst the noise of departures and arrivals, Emily discovered that her story wasn't over. It was just beginning.